Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the AFC West show. It was a big week,
Hey!
big week this weekend.
Woo!
Big week, but we do have some breaking news in the AFC West. And Omar, you are the Raiders guy. You are the man. Las Vegas, you were there. You
Woo!
bleed silver and black.
The history of the Raiders before we get into this. So, first of all, what was the breaking news? Well, the breaking news that Josh McDaniels was fired, as Rob said. Dave Ziegler gone. Mick Lombardi gone. Right? The whole crew is broken up. Antonio Pierce, as Rob will talk about it in a little bit, was named interim head coach. Buck Depardy, I believe is his name, or Dupardy, I don't remember, was elevated from quarterback coach to offensive coordinator. And not Chip, I said Chip Kelly because he's my UCLA coach, but Champ Kelly, who's a former Bears director player of personnel, was elevated to our interim GM. So what has happened is Mark Davis got fed up to the point where, McDaniels is 9-16 over the past two seasons. He was 11-17 at Denver. So he is the first coach in history to be fired in the first two seasons of coaching a team, which is quite incredible. Because, I mean, back in the day, coaches used to get a lot of leeway. Not anymore. But McDaniels had a lot of faults. But again, we need to start further back, right? So let me give you, and this is really crazy that I looked at this because I already knew, but I wanted to put it into context for the fans that are watching us. In the past 20 years, my friend Rob, for the Raiders, after they went to the Super Bowl in 2002, which, by the way, may God rest his soul, one of my favorite people in the world, Al Davis, decided to trade John Gruden to the Buccaneers, which was a mistake, obviously. In the first year with Bill Callahan after the Super Bowl, right after Bill Callahan took us to the Super Bowl with John Gruden's team and proceeded to get beat, the following records after that, starting with Bill Callahan that next year, he got fired after 2-7, right? And then after that, you're now moving into other coaches. You're going into 5-11. You're going into 4-12. You're going into 2-14. Now you're moving into Norv Turner, right? Well, he's at 5-11. He's at 8-8, starting to get the team a little back, but then he falls back, right? Now you're moving into the Dennis Allen territory, who we don't appreciate right now in New Orleans as doing a good job, right? You also have Art Shell in there for 1 year. You have all of these. I wanted to avoid this point, Rob, but I'm going to mention it briefly because I do not want to get upset. I do not want to get frustrated, get my heart beat up. We had a period of Lane Kiffin for a year and a half there, and it was probably the worst period of the past 20 years that the Raiders have had. And to be honest with you, we haven't had a better record than 12-4, and that came with Jack Del Rio, who had 2 good years at 12-4 and 10-6, and took us to the playoffs. Mark Davis's fascination led him to fire Jack Del Rio, even though you had a playoff team, to bring in John Gruden. But let's be honest, Rob. Let's be real honest, and we've talked about this, but fans may not know. Mark Davis never wanted to fire John Gruden. Yeah. The Raiders fans never wanted John Gruden gone. If it wasn't for emails, which, by the way, damn, I hope I can curse on the show. Damn you, Dan Snyder, and everything that you caused, because these emails leaked from I was about to say their old name, the Washington football team / Commanders and / something else. I used to call them because I'm from DC and I called them that all the time. That organization, that's where those emails came from, was him and Bruce Allen, the GM. Had those emails never been exposed through the investigation of Dan Snyder being a piece of, I just really want to piece of crap, we would never heard about Josh Daniels. We would have never heard about Dave Ziegler. We would have never heard about Mick Lombardi as part of the Raiders organization and all this BS with the Patriots West and everything else that ruined. No, we wouldn't have heard of it because John Gruden had a 10-year contract and would still be there right now. He was building a foundation. At least he was a good coach. Yeah, his draft picks may not have been that good, but you know what? Josh McDaniels were worse. But you know what? At least John Gruden knew how to win games. And at least John Gruden knew how to make coaching decisions from 20 years of experience and not bucktailing off of Belichick. I'm going to let you talk for a second. Just I need to calm down for a second. I'm just going to let you take over. But I got more to say.
Well, I find it interesting, number one, that Davis obviously had a fascination with the Patriots because he went in that direction with McDaniels. And it's funny how quickly that soured. Because to bring him in and then not as fast as you said, a season and a half, not even gone. I mean, it's such a quick decision. Now, as I was talking about the paralleling with the Chargers, just to throw this in, and I was kidding around with you before we came on, I wish the Chargers owner had the cojones to do something like this. Like Davis obviously does not care about money. He doesn't care about anything, how it looks. He doesn't care anything because he just does what he wants to do. Reason why do you think the reason why Davis makes this decision now? Is it to get a jump ahead of everybody to now start maybe talking to different coaches, maybe going out and looking at different coaches to maybe bring in at the end of the year? Or is this just like a fly off the cuff, don't give a crap type decision where I'm done with him, he's out, I'll figure it out later? Like, is there some kind of plan? Do you think the Raiders organization has a plan in place? Because if they don't, then this is really not a good scenario that's playing out right now.
As a business owner myself, Rob, I really hope that someone as astute as Mark Davis, who are a smart businessman, you make the best decisions for your organization, no matter if it's going to hurt you in the short run, as long as it's benefiting you in the long run.
Correct.
And so I want to touch on all the points you said, but I want to really touch on one point in particular. So let me touch on the other two first. The other two is, yes, he does want to get ahead. He thinks Antonio Pierce is one of the hottest coaching candidates, which he was last year in the offseason, and he wants to give him a chance, give Champ Kelly a chance at GM and see how they perform. But is he off the cuff? Of course. Look what he did with Rich Bisaccia, who led us to the playoffs, and he's still fired anyways in order to bring in Patriots West. Which, by the way, if you're not going to bring back, and we'll get into this later because you know how I feel, but if you're not going to bring back Gruden, Rich Bisaccia is a special teams coach in Green Bay. I'm sure he would love a promotion to head coach and be willing to come back, but neither here nor there. It's about stability. It's about how can we become stable as an organization so that our best two records in 20 years is not 12-10, and then everything else is 8-8 or below. Right? I don't want that anymore. And let's be quite honest, if I showed you it, 8-8 was like 2 years. The rest were like 4-12 and 2-14. So I don't want to experience this anymore, but decisions have to be made and things have to be done when things are going wrong. Just like you said you would do with Brandon Staley. It was the same thing that Mark Davis put his foot down and said, this is what I'm going to do and stop this bleeding as it is happening. Have other people come in. Let's start fresh. Aiden O'Connell comes in. He's the new starter. Jimmy Garoppolo is benched. I'm sure you were going to bring that up. I apologize for stepping on your toes. But if Mark Davis is not making decisions to make the organization better, then what you're doing. Now, In the past, we had cash poor Raiders, right? This is what you were alluding to a few minutes ago, right? When Al Davis was the owner and we were living in Oakland, as the Oakland A's can attest to right now, it's a pretty cash poor city in terms of franchise. Amazing city in terms of American cities, but to hold up franchises and the amount of people that are going to attend games and things like that, it is not the best city, which is why they moved to Las Vegas. But here's the thing that most people don't know. Most people still think of us Raiders as cash poor, but no, sir. Once they moved into Las Vegas and had their $1.9 billion stadium built, right? Now they have all the other shows coming in. Now they have the concerts. Now they have the festivals. Now they have U2 and Celine Dion and all these other people playing, whoever plays in whoever's a residency in Vegas. The Raiders, no one realizes this, led the NFL with $90 million in ticket revenue from Allegiant Stadium in the past year. And the Raiders also led in non-stadium revenue at $70 million. So Mark Davis figured, I got the money now and I can make these decisions. I can get rid of a coach that I just signed to 6 years and $6 years and $50 million after signing John Gruden to a 10-year, $100 million contract. Hey, Rob, one day I'm going to have this kind of money and I'm going to be able to do these sorts of things, my friend.
I hope so, man. That'd be great. I'll say a prayer for that one.
I won't waste it, though. I tell you that. I won't waste it.
Yep. So it's going to be a very great week of football. So please, everybody who watches football, please go on to the Let's Talk Sports Network and subscribe. Hit the like button. Hit the notification buttons. Hit the notification button. We'll let you know when our shows are going on so you can then track your favorite shows. There's tons of different shows on the Let's Talk Sports Network. Great host. You got Nick Botkins. You got Johnny C. You got Scott Cope. You got Alan. You got so many great hosts. You got Omar and those guys doing the Bottom Line Sports. I mean, it is packed. Oh, we got to throw this up real quick, Omar, right there. From the Bottom Line Sports, down goes McDaniels.
Down goes McDaniels. Down goes McDaniels.
Oh, and he's talking about Nick from what is that? IOW?
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, my bad.
Oh, okay. I was talking about somebody else. All right. So yeah. Okay. So anyway,
we're all part of the same family. Go watch.
We are part of the same family.
Thank you, my brother.
Time flew by. All the celebration that you guys are doing. Continue to do that celebration this week. Hopefully for a win for you guys against the Giants. And good luck with everything. And everybody, thank you for watching. And we will see you next week. Take care. Raiders!